Here we go. We're celebrating the Happy Together tour with Mark Volman, the co-founder of the tour, of course, with his partner, Howard Kalin. Of course, Howard has retired from the touring, but you have Ron Dante with you now. Of course, we know him from Archie's and so much more. A great voice. Talk about the evolution. How many years now has the Happy Together tour gone out?
Happy Together this year will celebrate, I believe, its 16th year. We've
Wow.
done the tour, and the tour's grown. I mean, we put a limit on how many shows we can do because we don't want to be on the road 24/7.
Yeah.
We want to continue to enjoy touring.
It's got to be comfortable.
Yeah, it does, and it's hard. It's hard, but the promoters have been great and letting the Happy Together tour. It's like this year we've got the same core on the tour of artists who will be out there, and then there's, of course, the Happy Together with the Turtles, and this year we have a whole another kind of lineup. I was looking for the names, but I can't see any of them.
Yeah.
But it's a good tour this year.
Oh yeah, I know the Cowsills are always on there, and
Yeah, Cal Sills opened the
is it
show.
the association maybe or
Association. I know we've got the Vogues.
yeah.
It's a really nice tour. It has a little bit of the history of rock and roll kind of taking place. It's got a very good conceptually, we put it together to be 1960s, mid 1960s, like 67,
Sure.
66. We even with the Vogues, you get a little of the 60s, maybe 62. This year we got Joey Mullen with Badfinger.
You got Badfinger songs, and you also have Jay and the Americans.
Jay and the Americans. All of those things are represented by their material, their songs,
Sure.
their popularity. When you put it all down and you see what the tour is, there's a 25 minutes, 30 minutes, which each act does, picking the right songs, performing them just like the records were made. And it's been successful. I mean, we sell out all over the United States, and I mean, one of these days we'll be at wit's end to find other bands to play with. But
Well,
I think I think all of this has a lot to do with my problem, which is I just don't like sitting around home, and
I
so
hear you.
you
Well,
have to.
it's a great concept. It reminds me of Ringo Starr's All-Star Band, where he's got all these players in his band. Everybody comes out and does their couple hits, and
Yep.
by the end of the show, you're so ecstatic. You've been singing along and
Yeah.
dancing to the hits you grew up with.
Well, and Ringo's damn it, he's a Beatle, I
Yeah.
mean, I know what that means to the history because they kept us out of the top 10 spot.
There's only two living Beatles, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, so we treasure
Uh,
them.
yeah, oh yes, definitely.
That
And
that's amazing.
it is amazing. This whole thing is amazing. And the fact that you and I are here talking
It
at the
is.
point in my life is amazing. I
Well, it's a
just,
celebration of your great creativity and your desire to entertain. Let me tell you, how did Ron Dante become your foil on stage there?
I needed a foil. Do people still know what a fob is, a foil and a fob?
Yeah.
Because that's important to know, because otherwise you have no history to draw on yourself. Okay, now let's get back to get the what were we talking about?
Well, Ron Dante, I know he's got his hits, Sugar
I'm
Sugar and all
Dante.
that.
Yeah, I can't keep him off this tour. I don't know what to do with him, the poor guy. runs around. He's just one of the most talented singers. Yeah, and now you got to remember Ron Dante. Ron Dante produced one of the great artists of the 1980s. He produced, I forget his name. Who did he produce? That's funny. Okay, well, it's not important. Barry Manilow, for God's
Oh,
sake.
wow.
He produced all
The
Barry's
man who writes the songs we all sing.
he did 4 albums as Barry Manilow's producer. And when he was looking for a spot to fall, the Happy Together tour was so lucky to grab him up. And he's
Yeah.
been with me now about 7 years. And him and I put a little twist on the Turtles songs, and
Sure.
it's a fun part of the night.
Well, it seems like it. I've seen the tour in previous years. I'll definitely be out there this year. I know everybody can look online for tour dates near them. I know one of them
Yeah,
you're doing the
yeah.
Pacific Amphitheater.
Yep, they'll be in the Los Angeles area uh, sometime in the summertime.
Yeah.
That's kind of safe to be able to say. But we're in California, kind of up and down the coast.
Okay.
Arizona, Paso Robles, there's just a lot of good theaters out there for our show.
Sure.
We have a lot of fans in that part of America.
That is absolutely amazing. Well, our special guest has been the one and only Mark Volman. You know him and love him from the Turtles, from
There you go.
T-Rex, from Frank Zappa, from Flo and Eddie, and of course, the Happy Together tour. Go out there and support the legacy. And the songs are really the stars, man. You guys bring them to life. It brings back memories. It's the soundtrack to our lives. And here are people that actually were a part of those legendary hits. So,
Well,
Mark,
thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And we'll look forward to meeting you live when we come to California.
absolutely best of luck. Travel safe. And until we see you next time, happy
Okay.
together.
Adios, amigo.